Good morning, students. I am NIVEDITA SINGH of Marwari College English Department. Today I am going to take your online classes for elective English, that is of 100 marks. As we have started in previous videos, novel The Financial Expert by R.K. Narayan. Today we will continue novel. Elective English fiction novel The Financial Expert by R.K. Narayanan. Main characters are Mrigya, Dr. Paul, Mr. Madan Lal, and Balu. Mrigya returned from Madras to Malgudi for his house with Balu. Mrigya expressed his gratitude to him. The police said that he was glad to have done a good work. He told Balu to be a good son and not to bother his parents again. He also said that he had told the railway police to keep an eye on him. Mrigya asked Balu several questions in the way, but he answered none. He said that he had no affection for any of his parents. He was happy in Madras seeing pictures every day. He wanted to be in Madras again. He disliked the dull living of Malgudi. He did not want to read for exams again. Mrigya assured him that he would not compel him any more to study. Hugging him in the compartment, he told Balu, "You eat, rest and grow fat. That is all you are expected to do. And take as much money as you like." The boy seems to accept his advice with 100% literalness. As he reached home, he found his mother a changed woman. She looked more youthful. She became loquacious and puckish in her comments. She seems to feel she was born into the world. She spoke light-heartedly with trembling joy in her voice. This was a revelation to Balu. Balu felt to have come in a new house. He enjoyed it very much. His mother piled him with delicacies all the time. Everything was now different. Now Balu had a special place in the house, and he could do whatever he liked. Balu devoted himself to the art of cultivating leisures. He was never in any undue hurry to get out of bed. At about 10 o'clock, Balu drank his morning coffee, dressed himself, and left the house. He returned home at about 1 o'clock and sat down for his lunch. His mother always waited for him. Sometimes he came home very late. Even then, he found her mother waiting. His mother waited for him for dinner. He spent most of his time into the shop opposite, smoking a cigarette, sleeping, and loitering. 6 months of this life and the boy became unrecognizable. There were fat pads under his eyes. His chin were doubling. Mrigya thought that the boy's best solution would be to marry him. He sent his emissaries out. He carefully scrutinized the status of the offers that came to him. He also referred the matter to Shastri, his accountant, who had become an expert matchmaker. His business flourished day and night. He went on increasing his wealth. The only property he often dreamed of was the one of the foot of the Mumpi Hills, but somehow it was constantly slipping away. Shastri turned up with quite a number of offers for Mrigya's son. Mrigya felt greatly flattered and puffed up with conceit. This was evident that he had attained social importance. He had never thought that anyone of consequence would care to ally with his family. His forefather belonged to the caste of crop bearers. The moment anyone died in the village, they came down and took charge of the business from that moment up to dissolving the ashes in the tank next day. It took 2 to 3 generations for the family to meditate this reputation, and thereafter they were known as agriculturists, owning and cultivating small parcels of land. No one bothered about their original afterwards. It was Mrigya's constant fear that when the time came to marry his son, people might refer to his ancestors. But fortunately, this fear was unfounded. Shastri had done his part of the work efficiently. He had written on scores of letters to men known to him within a radius of about 200 miles. He went out and saw in a person quite good manly many locally. As an ambassador, in all his correspondence and talk, he described Mrigya as the lord of uncounted lakhs, or as one who was the richest of India. And he spoke of Balu as inheritor of all his wealth and appearance intents in his father's own business, and a young man whose education was deliberately suspended because his father, having his own idea of education, was more keen on training the young fellow in business than letting him acquire useless degrees. Mrigya scrutinized quite a file of applications and horoscopes. He rejected most of the proposals. Mrigya felt elated. Finally, he picked up the horoscope of a girl named Brinda. She was 17 years old. Her father, in his first letter, described her as being extremely fair. He was a man who owned a tea estate in Mumpy Hills. Mrigya sent Shastri out to fetch an astrologer. The Pandit matched the horoscope and found them unmatchable. Mrigya offered more money than his usual charges. The astrologer filled the sheet of paper with numbers that the two horoscopes were opposite. They could not match. Mrigya felt angry. He asked Shastri to give the Pandit a rupee and see him off. The astrologer demanded more money, but he was not obliged by Mrigya. Dr. Paul helped Mrigya to find a different astrologer who rearranged the stars of Balu to suit the circumstances. He finally came back one day with the astrologer's written report on a saffron tipped paper. The report said that the two horoscopes perfectly matched. Dr. Paul also helped in making wedding preparations, and Balu was soon married. Today, up to this, we will continue in our next video.